I'm Joe Franco, and I'm a traveler, a polyglot, and overall love discovering new places. But Skyscanner has asked me to put together the ultimate 72-hour guide to where I live, which happens to be a tiny country here in Europe that most travelers miss. Look at this building behind me. This is crazy. That's a good Belgian waffle. It's a delicious, slow-cooked stew. Food coma. So if you're planning a Euro trip, I'm gonna show you why skipping this country is a big mistake in my 72-hour epic travel guide, Belgium. You know you're in Belgium when you're leaving the airport from Brussels and the announcements are in 4 different languages. And for a language nerd like me, I'm in love. Cue the onboarding sequence.
So you probably recognize this shape. That's Europe. And if you zoom in, you got little old Belgium. Very tiny and very complex. So in the north you have Flanders, which is where they speak Dutch, which is technically Flemish. It's grammatically the same as Dutch in the Netherlands, but it has its own dialects, and people here who live 20 minutes away from each other might not even be able to understand what they're saying, but that's a story for another day. Then in the south you have Wallonia, aka where they speak French. A lot of people think that Belgium is a French-speaking country. It's not true. Towards the east, you got this tiny little region called the East Cantons where they speak German, which is why coming to Belgium is like you're sampling 3 countries in one. As if that's not crazy enough, in Flanders, not in the French region, is a little place that you probably have heard of before called Brussels. That is technically French and Dutch speaking, aka French and Flemish speaking, where they mostly speak French, even though legally they're supposed to speak both. And I'm on a mission to show you my favorite places. 4 cities, 3 days, a huge appetite. And our journey starts in Brussels.
Now we're in French mode. I woke up in the Dutch-speaking part, and I'm spending the day with you here in the French-speaking part. Allons-y, hein? Si on va... Wow, français, néerlandais. À la main. Non, en français, je peux le faire. Je veux aller à la Tom Yum, c'est comment? Donc la ligne 4 à la 6. Il faut toujours quelques minutes pour mon cerveau. Ok, merci. Bonne journée. Man, I don't know if everybody else's brain has that problem, but it's like brain farts linguistically. It's always like... The Dutch has really seeped in, which is crazy because when I moved here a little over a year ago, I didn't speak Dutch.
To start this journey off right, I wanted to take you to one of Belgium's funkiest locations and probably the most known building here in Brussels, the Ottomer. I've never been, only saw it in pictures. I hopped on the metro for about 30 minutes, and before I knew it, your girl was in outer space.
Presenting the Ottomer. I knew that the Ottomer was a big deal, but it's a big deal. It's beautiful. "1958 was when it was built right after World War II, symbolizing a new future for Europe. And that is why it looks like we just jumped straight into a sci-fi movie. Also, as I was buying my ticket, the guy spoke to me in Portuguese, in French, in English. It's a whole thing. I have a feeling we're gonna take a lot of escalators. Escalator 1, escalator number 2. It really feels like you're in a spaceship. It's crazy. We're in one of the orbs. So I just learned that this was shaped like the iron molecule because iron was all the rage in the 1950s, post-World War II, and the Belgian industry was popping. I think we're on level 4 right now. Whoa.
I didn't have many expectations, but I definitely didn't expect to feel like I was in a nightclub, raving, in the middle of the Ottomer.
Does it get any trippier? Yes, the Ottomer is a little far away from the Brussels city center, but it's definitely a must-see.
Is it just me, or do museums always work up such an appetite? Here's the good news. Belgium might be tiny, but it has endless delicacies. I'm talking waffles, fries, chocolate, vol au vent, beef stew.
My mission is to try to get all of that in this one very short video. Bring your stretch pants. You come to Belgium to eat, to drink, and to be merry. Dining is not like a quick get in and out. Once you're seated at a restaurant, you could stay there for hours. Dare I start my beer tour too? When in Belgium, am I right? Most locations, especially cities, have their own beer. This is a Brussels beer, and it's quite bitter, but delicious. It tastes like adulthood. Introducing Stump and Saucisson, or is it saucisse? Saucisson? Stump and sausage. Belgian food is comfort food. Got some good stump.
Plate cleaned and pants unbuttoned. A sign of a job well done.
It's so funny living in Belgium because you go 20 minutes away and you feel like you're in a different country. Like, am I in Paris or am I in Brussels? You'll never know. Just kidding, you would know. It is so different than Antwerp, for instance, or Ghent, which we're gonna go to in this experience. One One of the things that you cannot miss when you're in Brussels. Behold, Brussels' epic symbol of power, strength, and ridiculousness, mannequin piece, which translates to little boy peeing. This is also the world's best dressed statue, but he's naked. This is the first time I've ever seen him naked. This guy's got more outfits than every day of the year, and he even has a museum for his extensive closet called Garderobe Mannequin Piece. And if you didn't think that was crazy enough, he's got a sister or girlfriend. So this is Janneke Piece, which is Mannequin Piece's female counterpart. She was created in 1987 by a local artist who wanted to make it more of a modern kind of a representation. She's girl power. Janneke Piece is squatting, getting out her business. Local femininity. 47. Where's my Janneke Piece? My niece is gonna love it. Statue of feminism. Bienvenue sur la Grande Place. So we're in the heart of Brussels right now. This is the historic old square, but it was actually mostly bombarded in the 1600s and had to be rebuilt. The thing about the rebuild was it wasn't paid for by the kings. It was paid for by the merchants, the brewers, the makers, the doers, which tells you a lot about being here in Brussels. Power has always had to be shared, compromised, negotiated.
And today, Brussels still holds on to that history by being the capital of the EU and NATO headquarters.
Best way to end the day here in Belgium. You get a crispy little Belgian waffle, which is not a breakfast food like it is in the US. For me, it's like the best way to punctuate a Belgian day. And big thing you need to know, 2 different types of Belgian waffles. You got Brussels waffle, light, crispy, not so sweet, and that one you put toppings on. And then you have a Liège, which is a lot more rich, sugary. So you should probably just only have powdered sugar on it. You could do what you want, but the locals do it like that, you know. I do it like the locals do it. And I think I have to go with chocolate, strawberries, and crunchy speculoos. Is that too much? It's never too much. Est-ce que c'est trop? C'est jamais trop. C'est exactement ce que je dis. So you see the crunch. That's a good Belgian waffle. So there you have it, Brussels, a city filled with delicious waffles, good beer, good food, a lot of pee, and an overall international vibe that you can't miss. News at Antwerp. And then my brain has to switch, and it's like a little tiny radio frequency dial. It's pretty crazy to think that I decided when I was 32 years old that I would move to a small and cozy city called Antwerp. This is a city that people always skip. And listen, I did it too. I skipped this city until I moved here. One of the reasons I fell in love with Antwerp is because it really just does what it does. It doesn't try so hard. It's not running around calling tourists. It just is. And it happens to be extremely vibey if you know where to go.
There's a lot you need to know about Antwerp. It's home to the 2nd largest port in Europe. The first stock exchange building was built here. Europe's oldest skyscraper was also built here. But before I get ahead of myself, I need to show you how pretty it is to just arrive.
Welcome to Central Station here in Antwerp. This is one of the most beautiful train stations ter wereld in the world. Hit the B-roll montage. It was built in the early 1900s. It was basically a way for Antwerp to say, we matter, come through here. This is a destination in more than one way. They call it the Railroad Cathedral. Fun fact, 80% of the world's diamonds pass through Antwerp, and this is the beginning of the Diamond District. Bikers rule the city, and you gotta know where the bike lanes are. They're pretty nonchalant, so you're not gonna notice them. Bike lane. We've made it to the mid. It's a busy shopping street, so you see many people around me, but it is one of the most beautiful shopping streets I've ever seen. Look at these buildings. What I didn't know about Antwerp before I moved here is that Antwerp is actually a fashion capital. There are so many cool boutiques and designers. People are just stylish.
When it comes to shopping, you can find everything you're looking for here at the Mid, but I also love finding the tiny boutiques that make Antwerp a true hidden gem.
I found out about this store called Rosier 41, and they sell secondhand designer clothing, and I'm like, suddenly, she is a designer girl. Only because it's really affordable. Trying this on, this. I'm ready for an art gallery. Is it a ja of nee? It's a ja. So which one am I getting? All 3? Good idea. Guilty. If you've searched for the perfect bookstore and never found it. Come on.
And they have a good mix of books in English and in Dutch.
Funny coincidence. We're getting lunch with Tanguy Ottomer. He wrote this book. I'm definitely buying this. Een cadeautje voor mij. Ik ga naar boven. Dankjewel. Then you sit with your new books and have a coffee or wine.
I live for a moody coffee shop moment. Right, an analog.
Dankjewel. Wow, what a cookie. Is there a better way to spend the late morning? Next stop, getting lunch with a world-class tour guide and my dear friend, Tanguy Ottomer. And he has no idea that he's about to do a personal book signing for me. So nice having friends in this city. Here he is, the man of the hour. It's a present from me, but it's from you. I need you to sign it. What does someone need to know about Antwerp if they always go to other cities around but never came here?
They forgot to visit the center of the world, and I think Antwerp is the hidden gem of Europe, because there are so many people traveling all over Europe and they always forget Antwerp. The moment that they visit Antwerp, they're like flabbergasted. They think it's like, oh my god, this is amazing, because they don't have any expectations. I think it's incredible for me also to show off with my city, because they're like, oh my god, I never thought about it. So
a big part of Antwerp culture is just dining, talking, eating, drinking. It's like a hangout kind of a city. You're gonna see a lot of chocolate hands in this city because of the legend of Brabo. And the legend of Brabo goes that Brabo killed the giant that was blocking the river and threw his hand in the river so that people could pass without paying a toll. Some people say that's why Antwerp has its name, because in Dutch, hand, werpen is to throw, so the throwing of the hand, aka Antwerp. So you'll see hands everywhere. My favorite are in chocolate formation, and then you have Brabo, werpen that hand. This is the Cathedral of Our Lady. I think it's one of the most underrated cathedrals in Europe. Ta-da! Tallest church tower in the Low Countries, and this baby took 169 years to build, so we're talking multiple generations. Gorgeous. How was this built in the 1300s? Antwerp, am I right? Day 3 of this epic Belgian adventure is well underway.
Off to Bruges Ghent. And I'm not saying that I saved the best for last, but let's just say that there's a lot of beauty and a whole lot of chocolate.
People know about Bruges. You probably have heard of Bruges, and if Antwerp is the understated, underrated hidden gem, Bruges is the opposite. People talk about it because it's like this fairy tale village. Hordes of people, they're all here for Bruges' beauty. And you can tell it's old because of the size of these doors. Tiny door exhibit A. Also, this was one of the richest cities in Belgium in the Middle Ages, and it was because of the canals that connected to the sea, so a lot of trade happened here. But then, things kind of went south, and a lot of the trade moved up to Antwerp. And then, the Spanish Inquisition came, and then all the trade went up to Amsterdam. And so now you know about Amsterdam, but actually, technically, it started here in Bruges. She's a history nerd.
Bruges is known as the Venice of the North. With all of its canals, it was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, like the entire town. It's known for its medieval charm, but it was also a powerhouse back in the day when it came to finances, and modern banking was born here.
And there's a big market culture. Almost every single day of the week in major cities here in Belgium, you could look up a market, a street market, and get things that are local, delicious. Like this ham, am I taking it home?
It's also famous for its lace and overall craftsmanship, which is why I thought it would be the perfect place to eat my favorite thing in the world, chocolate.
At the one, the only chocolate line here in Bruges.
Owned and operated by chocolate royalty, father and son duo, Dominique and Julius Persoone. They're 3 generations deep, and their chocolate truly is on another level.
The smell of the chocolate, my dudes.
When I asked Julius to swing by and see their new dessert bar, I honestly had no idea what this man had in store for me.
Look who it is. Good to see you too. Mwah. Thank you for having us. Whoa, we can come in.
Of course.
What? We get a chef's table. What is my life right now? This is Dominique Persoone. You're famous.
Somebody has to do it.
How is it for you to work with your son?
Good, we like it, it's the same passion. The only problem is, even at home, we still talk about chocolate. And we have a rule on holiday, we can talk about chocolate till 11 o'clock. And then if you talk about the job again, you have to pay €5.
Oh.
And at the end of the holiday, we have a very good dinner.
If you want to make like a sort of aperitif, you start your chocolate experience.
Okay. Cheers. So they have a plantation in Mexico, and they caught this tarantula in the plantation. Oh. The thing about the chocolate line, Dominique and Julius Persoone, is that this is not your basic chocolate. Holy crap, that's delicious. The aftertaste hits you like a cloud. This is like elevated to 20 times what you think elevated chocolate tastes like. Gotta try this. You like it? My knees are sweating. That's how good this is.
And all the chefs that work at the chocolate line used to be Michelin star restaurant chefs, which is why the chocolate here is unlike any other I've ever experienced.
There's dried caviar on top of this. Honestly, you just gotta laugh because it's so extremely good. Oh my word.
And it's not only beautiful,
whoa.
It's an ode to our We Care project in Mexico.
it's mind-boggling delicious.
I'm gonna be in a chocolate coma in like 5 seconds. Julius just told me this is the freshest chocolate in the world. Oh my God. I just got goosebumps all over my body. Am I about to cry?
The only way to recover from my chocolate coma was, you guessed it, to eat more fried, salty goodness. Belgium is known for its frituur culture.
Damn, chicken wings and bitterballen. It's not bitter at all. It's delicious. It's this meaty, delicious fried ball of goodness. This is a croque monsieur, which is actually a croque monsieur, which I thought was only something in France, but it's not true. And it's basically a grilled ham and cheese. And if you get a madame, you get an egg on top. In my humble opinion, Bruges is an amazing day trip. We're gonna make it a half day trip because I still wanna show you Ghent. So we're getting back on the train and going 20 minutes to one of the coolest cities in this country. Here we are in Ghent. Less touristy than Bruges, more touristy than Antwerp, and overall a good time. In history, the people of Ghent have been rebellious, and even today, Ghent is still known as like the counterculture city. It's the kind of city that is so forward-thinking, they have a concept called Veggie Thursdays, and it's moody and romantic.
Home to legendary Ghent University, this city is youthful while keeping its old history. And like Bruges, Ghent has a certain je ne sais quoi that you just have to come and see for yourself.
It's pretty bold that there are no railings to these canals. I would just be careful, these Belgian beers are very strong. Watch yourself. The city has always been rebellious to the point where this fortress, the Gravensteen, was not built to keep invaders from coming into the city. It was built in the 1100s to intimidate the citizens of the city because the people in charge were upset that they kept rebelling, and has basically served as a symbol of how Gentenaar, people who live in Ghent, are always rebelling against authority. The city is for the rebels. So Ghent has won awards for being very beautifully lit at night, and there are these lights that just shoot out from the ground, but you could see that these old medieval buildings have been accentuated with this gorgeous lighting. Hit the B-roll montage. If you're in Belgium, please do me a favor and order yourself a bowl of stoofvlees. It's a delicious, slow-cooked stew. Here in Ghent specifically, I just learned that there's Gentse stoverij, which is a specific kind of stoofvlees with a special kind of mustard, thin. Belgians go hard on their mustard too, which I love. So yes, I ordered a bowl of Gentse stoverij. Ooh, and the stadsbeer. Thank you all. Looks delicious. And it is not complete without Belgian fries, which are not French, they are Belgian. With mayonnaise, the big moment. This is the kind of food that makes you feel like you are loved by a grandmother. And how cute is it that they serve it in these little pots? That it's like for the family? Come on. Well, this about concludes our Belgium tour. Ta-da! Ready for a nap on the train ride home.
After living as a full-time traveler for the last decade, I have to say Belgium is one of the most unexpected gems, and plus, it is the perfect place to start your Euro trip. Big shout out to Skyscanner for letting me put together a guide on this beautiful place, and I'll see you in the next adventure.
You coming to visit?